Hey guys, welcome to today's video, a really exciting one because I'm going to test the two different kinds of GPT models. So I'm going to test GPT 3.5 along with GPT-4. Let's see what the differences are in output wise. And also I'm going to test this inside of the chatbot because I want to see which one produces not only the best output, but also has a reasonable regeneration time of those responses, right? So first, let's take a look at ChatGPT directly. I'm going with the model, as you can see, 3.5. So that is the basic model. So let's test a few different kinds of topics to see the differences between the kind of outputs that we get back. So let's go with the model GPT 3.5 and let's go with the following topic. So let's go with this topic. So write a social media post about 3 ways to increase your attendance rate for your online webinars. So let's take a look what the model 3.5 is going to generate. As you can see, the model 3.5 is really fast. Now the answer is pretty short. So let's see what GPT-4 comes up with. So let me just copy the prompt, open a new chat window, and let's go with the model GPT-4. Then let's go with the copy and paste. And let's see what this model comes up with. And as you can see, the generation is already much slower because 3.5 is a turbo version of the language model. But already it seems that this is a much better output and it's not even ready yet, right? So as soon as it's ready, let's take a look and compare the two. So we now have two different kinds of versions. This is the version of GPT-4 and this is the version of GPT 3.5. And if we take a look here, we have three different kinds of tips, right? So three ways: promote your webinar early and often, create compelling content, offer incentives, and that is pretty much it. So if we take a look at GPT-4, you will see it understands better that it's about a social media post. So social media, so adding emojis for visual effect, right? And to really grab the attention of the user if they scroll by your post inside the newsfeed is already much better. So let's take a look. So time it right is the first tip. Schedule your webinars at the most convenient time for your target audience. Consider time zones, work zones, weekends. Check out tools like Time Zone Ninja to find the sweet spot. Then we have engaging content. We also have promote, so spread the word through all your channels. But this one is already much more compelling. So let's try another topic. So let's go back towards the 3.5 model. And now let's come up with something else. So let's come up with the following. Write a blog outline about the following topic: how to prepare to pitch towards new prospects. So let's press enter. And as you can see, 3.5 just automatically starts generating, right? So here we have a few. Here's an outline for a blog post about how to prepare. We have the introduction, we have research your prospects, develop your pitch, practice your pitch, follow up with the prospects, and then the conclusion. Let's go and copy this prompt, go towards the GPT-4 model, and do the exact same thing. So the generation has been completed, and if we take a look at the following, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sections as opposed to 6 sections here. So if we take a look at the GPT-4 model, it's much more structured. So we have the introduction, we have a good division inside each individual chapter. So we have the introduction and then 3 different kinds of points to bring inside the introduction. In general, you will see that this is much more structured than the 3.5 model. So we have something like this: introduction, briefly introduce the topics of pitching to new prospects and explain why it's important. Preview the key points that the blog post will cover, as opposed towards the introduction here. Importance of an effective pitch. So that is one. Challenges of pitching to new prospects, and overview of the blog's content. Pretty much sums up exactly what 3.5 mentions. Then we have the research of prospects. We have that here as well. So research your prospects, 3 different kinds of points of attention. And we have the Exact same here, although we have 4 different kinds of points. Then craft a compelling value proposition, right? And if we take a look here, we have develop your pitch. So explain the elements of a good pitch, such as clear value proposition, attention grabbing hook, and a call to action. And if we take a look here, then it's define your unique selling points, so your unique proposition, align your solution with the prospect goals. And this is actually really important. Inside of generating and creating your pitch towards new prospects, always try to target that and customize it towards that specific prospect, and never go with just a general pitch basically. But I find this one more structured inside the setup. It's more clear on what you want to produce inside of this blog overview. And it's, of course, a little bit more of content, as you can see here. Let's go with one different kind of topic and see how the two models differ, right? So let's go with a coding issue. So can you help me write a JS code, so a JavaScript code, that will compare two different dates and return the difference as days? And then let's also ask it to provide an example. Let's go with the 3.5 model first. So let's press enter, and then you will see that it automatically generates the entire JavaScript code. Okay, so it's a really short code. It also explains how the code has been structured. So in this example, we defined two different dates, date 1 and date 2, then use the get time method to get their millisecond representation. We then subtracted the 2 times to get the time difference and divided it by the number of milliseconds in a day to get the difference in days. The math seal method is used to ensure that we always round up to the nearest day. You can modify this code to compare any two dates by updating the values of date 1 and date 2. Just make sure that the dates are in the correct format, year, month, day, and you're using valid dates. So let's go and copy this prompt. Let's go towards GPT-4. And let's see what this model produces code-wise. Would it be exactly the same, or does it come with a different approach? Maybe even explain the code much better. Let's take a look. So if we take a look at the example by GPT-4, you will see that it splits the code into two different kinds of code blocks. So it first gives you the function side of the JavaScript, and then we are going to use the function to compare the two different dates, as you can see here. So you will also see a short explanation. In this example, first date is set to May 1st and second date is set to May 15th. The date difference in days function will return the difference between these two dates in days. When you run the code, it will output the difference in days, 14, as there are 14 days between these two dates. But you can see that the two models produce a different kind of code. So if we take a look here, so as you can see with the 3.5 model, it uses the get time and the math.seal. And with GPT-4, it goes with the date difference in days. And basically two different ways of tackling this specific issue. Is one better than the other? I don't really think so. Both can work, but also let's ask the GPT-4 model to see if it can produce the entire code in just one single code block, and then see if we get another explanation about it. So as you can see, it now combined the two different kinds of JavaScript. And for the real coders under us and watching this video, let me know if this JavaScript will work. Let me know down in the video comment section, or if there is a much better way to do this. Give an example inside the comment section as well, because I'm always trying to take a look at what AI can generate and what is actually being created by real developers, right? So do let me know down in the video comment section. As you can see, the two codes have been combined, and basically we get the exact same response here, the date difference in days function, and that is basically here as well. So the date difference in days function definition, as well as the example usage with two different dates. When you run this code, it will output the difference in days in 14 days. So when comparing these two different models and the topics that we used inside the prompt, for me at least, it seems that GPT-4 is the winner because it provides a more relevant and more accurate response towards my exact prompt. So if I choose, for example, a social media post, write me a social media post, it should also contain emojis, right? You could, of course, let GPT 3.5 know to add emojis towards that specific post. That is completely possible, but the initial output already shows that GPT-4 is able to understand the concept of your prompt much better. Let's head over to the chatbot to see the difference between the two APIs for GPT 3.5 as well as GPT-4. So once inside the chatbot, let's go with an action block. And by the way, if you're wondering what kind of chatbot platform this is UChat, and I will also leave a link down in the video description in case you did not hear about this platform yet. Highly unlikely if you watch my videos because most of the videos contain UChat, but just in case, you can just check them out. If we go with an integration, then OpenAI, we can go with a chat completion. So let's go with a chat completion. You can set up a system message, which basically indicates a role that the ChatGPT agent can perform, right? I will leave this empty for this example because I did not use that inside the initial prompts as well. I will only go with the message, basically a simple prompt, and then also go with the different models. I will also increase the max tokens to 500 just to make sure that the responses are not cut off in somewhere in the middle. So let's go with a simple prompt. So let's go with this. Create a tweet about the advantage of using ChatGPT in your business. I will first go with GPT 3.5 Turbo, and then let's see what the output is. So I'm going to say test request, and let's see, it's pretty quick. So just about 3 or 4 seconds, it generates a response already by API. Let's see what the output is. So if we go towards messages, let me also move the camera out of the way. So if we go towards the messages, then we have transform your customer support with ChatGPT, boost engagement, save time and money, and provide personalized assistance with our AI-powered chatbot. Hashtag ChatGPT, hashtag business advantage, hashtag customer experience. Pretty good tweet. Let's see what GPT-4 can come up with, right? So let's go and change the model to GPT-4. We are going to leave the prompt as is and just press test. The very first thing that you will see is it will take much longer to produce a result. The turbo version, the 3.5 model, already produced a result, and I could already press it maybe 3 or 4 times. And the GPT-4 model takes a lot of time. But let's take a look at what the response is. Just started using hashtag ChatGPT in our business and the results are fantastic. Streamlined workflows, improved customer interactions, and razor-sharp content creation. Say hello to the future of hashtag AI-driven efficiency and get ready to level up your business game. Hashtag tech transformation. That's a real tongue breaker. So if I take a look at this result, it's a completely different kind of approach where we are going to use the hashtags inside the text copy itself instead of all the way at the end. Both tweets are pretty good, but the main disadvantage of using GPT-4 in this case is the long waiting time before the API responds back with a certain response, right? Inside of a chatbot, this is a real problem because we cannot allow the users to wait for too long for a chatbot to come up with a response. So that is something that you will need to test yourself. For me, I don't think that I'm going to use GPT-4 inside of my chatbot for giving certain replies back towards users. I do have a separate template where I'm going to create AI content for the users as sort of a side hustle, right? I will record a separate video on that because the website, the landing page and everything is completely done, also the chatbot, and it works with a completely up-to-date credit system. But as you can see, the generation of a reply is really, really slow. Let's come up with a different topic, one more topic. So let's use this topic. Give 5 tips to increase engagement on your social media posts. If we go with the regular version first, so the GPT 3.5 Turbo version, let's go and say test request. And As you can see, most likely around this time we will get a result, although it takes quite a bit of time here as well. Takes about 6 seconds for GPT Turbo, so I am afraid for for the GPT-4 model, but let's see what the result is. Message. And here it comes with basically a really long message, right? So as an AI language model, I do not have a personal experience of subjective views, but I can provide some generalized tips to increase engagement on social media posts. One, post regularly and consistently. Consistency is key in social media. You need to post content regularly to stay on top of mind with your audience. That's completely true. If you are too inconsistent, then the following or the reach of your post will also go down really, really fast. Then we have use multimedia content. Visual content such as photos, videos, infographics grab attention more. Completely true. Then we have 3, ask questions. Ask your followers questions that encourage them to engage with you. Then we also have use hashtags. Hashtags are a powerful tool for increasing visibility and engagement. And then 5 is be human. Social media is all about human connection. Make sure you show your human side. So a pretty big answer for a 3.5 turbo model. Let's see what GPT-4 can come up with. So let's go and switch to GPT-4 and let's test the request. I am a little bit afraid of the time this is going to take. So let's take a look. Around this time, ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo already had an answer, and we're now reaching the 10 seconds. And this is really taking a long time, right? And here we have a response code set to 0. So we actually got a timeout. So let me try it again. And it seems that the GPT-4 model is struggling here. So it does not give any response back. So let me just adjust the prompt. So let's say give 1 tip to increase engagement on your social media post and see if it will respond towards that. And now we get a response back. So it seems that inside the API, you need to keep the prompt really, really short. So don't expect too long of an answer, because otherwise the GPT-4 model seems to be struggling. So if we are going with the message, let's see. 1 tip to increase engagement on your social media post is to ask questions or encourage discussions in your captions. This provides your followers to share their thoughts, opinions, and experience, which can lead to higher engagement through likes, comments, and shares. So this is completely true as well. The GPT 3.5 model also mentioned this, right? So ask questions, try to interact with your audience. But it seems that GPT is struggling when trying to get too much content from it by API at least. So, who is the winner between the two models? GPT 3.5 or ChatGPT 4? It actually is a tie for me, because if we take a look inside of ChatGPT directly, I myself find the responses coming back from the GPT 4 model much better than the 3.5 model. Although it's generated really, really fast, I find this model, the GPT-4 model, to come up with more accurate responses. And for me, GPT-4 is the clear winner if used on ChatGPT directly. If we go towards the API, so using it inside of chatbots or other applications, then GPT 3.5 is the absolute winner. It not only responds really, really fast with a reply, but the reply itself is also pretty high quality. And if needed, you can also go with a system message to give the model more guidelines in how to respond towards the users, how to generate a reply. So for me, inside of the chatbot, GPT 3.5 is the way to go when interacting with bot users. I'm most likely going to use GPT-4 for the AI content generator that I'm going to build. Basically, it's already done. It's only needing to post all the links on my social media and then push it live. because the quality of the content is then a little bit better, because you will get these kinds of quality content also generated through the API itself. So let me know in the comment section down below, which model do you prefer and why? Because I'm really interested in what other people are thinking. And yeah, for me, again, it's a tie on ChatGPT directly. I prefer GPT-4, and on the API side of things, so when using it inside of a chatbot or other applications, then 3.5 Turbo is for me the clear winner. I hope you enjoyed this video in the comparison between the two different kinds of models to see the perks and also the cons of each model. So if you enjoyed this video, do consider dropping a like because it will help me out. And if you did not subscribe to the channel yet, please consider doing so because you will support me in my goal to reach 1K subscribers by the end of this year. For now, have a great day, take care, and I will talk to you really, really soon.